All right, guys, played well the first 24 minutes. I didn't like how we finished the half. It was an 8-point game, goes to a 14-point game right at the end of the half. We didn't manage the clock very well, and I thought we came out in the second half and did some nice things, got the game to 10. And we're down 10 with 16 minutes to go. We're +4 in rebounding, and then from that point on, no disrespect to Kentucky or anybody else, but I think we more self-destructed than it was them. You know, we turned the ball over 24 times, and they were more self-inflicted than they were because of Kentucky. And that happens sometimes with a young team. We got to learn how to be able to play through that. But I thought the last 16 minutes we didn't play well at all. And but I was proud of our effort, our energy, and our focus the first 24 minutes.
Scott, is there anything that kind of tips the balance when a team's playing well, and then all of a sudden it kind of drops off?
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of it's just, you know, can you rebound the ball? And, you know, like I told them before the game, I would rather have a shot clock violation than to have a perimeter turnover where they dunk it down to the other end of the floor. I mean, those things in this kind of game, you can get away from it in a hurry. And I understand that. We've been in these games before, and we got a lot of young kids. But it's a 10-point game, and, you know, to be honest, I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but start the second half, Kentucky wasn't ready to play. When they weren't ready to play, and they gave us every opportunity, and we score a couple baskets in a row, and they call timeout, and they do what good teams are supposed to do, and they come back and respond, and when they responded, we didn't. But I understand how that plays out, and, you know, how we played the first few minutes is important, but we didn't finish the last 16 minutes, and that's a growing process for us, for our team and our level, just like it's a growing process for Kentucky and the SEC.
Coach, happy holidays.
Same to you.
Turnovers, you have a young squad, I think the third youngest squad in the country. Has there been a problem for your squad? Is this something you guys have been working on?
Well, just, you know, a lot of our turnovers have been from non-primary ball handlers. You know, Martin had 4, Stephen had 5, and John Ross had 4. And none of those guys were 1 or 2 man. No, they're from non-primary ball handlers. And I say that we played Murray State a couple of weeks ago. We turned over 7 times. You know, the best way to understand our team right now is as far as taking care of the ball, we're extremely inconsistent. And when we take care of the ball and we turn it over 12 times instead of 24 times, that's 12 more shots you're going to get up on the backboard, which didn't happen in a game like this. You can't afford not only to turn over 24 times, but many of those are dunks at the other end where that's 1 on 0 and you get 26 points. And for a young team like Kentucky, you know, they need that and they want that, and they got that, especially the last 16 minutes of the game. And, you know, teams that don't turn the ball over and take care of the basketball and make Kentucky guard the possession, make them guard the shot clock, I mean, those are the teams that will give them problems. And, you know, we weren't able to sustain that. And like our team, at our level, they're a work in progress just like we are.
Coach, Kyle Wiltshire is kind of a catch-and-shoot guy, we think. He got off today. What happened there? What was the plan with him, or if there was one?
Well, yeah, we looked at the stats, you say there wasn't a plan, and I understand. You know, when the ball goes in the low post, you know, on him, you got to be on the line between the post player and him. And we were off the line, so that when you're off the line between the post player and him, the ball comes directly out there to him. When it comes out there to him fast, you know, he's able to set his feet and be able to shoot the basketball. And that obviously was not supposed to happen. He wasn't supposed. I mean, I think all 9 of his threes. I mean, I hadn't seen them. They appeared to be wide open, and that wasn't the plan at all. Although I know he's been inconsistent in shooting the ball, but him and Mays have been their best shooters, you know, for the year. And the rest of their team are making about half a 3 a game. And you know, as I told our guys, you know, he got too many open looks at the basket, which was not by design, believe me.
Scott, from your perspective, what happened with Deontay and Noel there near the end of the first half, where they kind of got entangled, and Deontay stayed, if I got it remembered right, he stayed on the floor, wincing and so on, and then Kentucky ended up dunking.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see what happened. I saw they got tangled up, and I saw both of them went to the floor. And you know, Deontay's a very good player, you know, and he didn't play particularly well tonight. And he's a guy that is a very emotional player. And as I've told him many times, I want you to be an emotional player, but I don't want you to cross the line. And that's something we continue to work with him about and talk with him about. And, you know, again, when we're in practice a lot of times, I officiate, and the reason I officiate because I make bad calls. And the reason I make bad calls is to make them play through adversity. You know, I'm not saying there were bad calls tonight. I'm just saying that, you know, the bottom line is you're going to get bad calls from time to time. You got to keep playing. You can't focus on the only thing you can control is yourself and your emotions and how you act and react. And he's the first one to tell you. We're in the huddle. We pray after every game. He was in the huddle, crying in the huddle, apologizing to his team for crossing the line with his emotions. And he understands that. That's something he's continued to work on. And I respect him to be able to say that to his peers at half court after the game.
Coach, he did foul out in the second half. Is that attributed to his willingness to win, his effort he puts in, and the emotion?
Well, he's a competitive player, and when he keeps his emotions in check, he's awful good. But sometimes they get the best of him sometimes, and that in the case today, you know, he thought a couple fouls weren't called. But my response to that is you can only control what you can control. You can't control anybody else. You can control yourself. And when you go to another level with your emotions, it doesn't only affect you, but it also affects our team. And those are the things that we're trying to work with our team. And if you'll think about it, all that happened around the 16-minute mark when it was a 10-point game. And those things, I told our team, and I believe this, we're going to have a good team this year. And I honestly believe that. But we have to understand, you know, plays and understand what affects winning and losing. We have to understand that as individuals and as a coach, what affects winning and losing. You know, 10-point game, again, they're not ready to play the second half. We have they're going to give us an opportunity. I kept telling you, they will give us an opportunity, but we got to capitalize on it, and we didn't. And that's something we got to continue to work at and get better at.
Coach, Ole Miss, you played Ole Miss, they're also in the SEC. Can you compare them at all with Kentucky?
I just think Ole Miss has got a bunch of seniors. They got older guys. Again, Cal probably would want me to say this because he'll use it. You know, they guard better than Kentucky does. They guard the ball a lot better, and they force you into turnovers. Whereas Kentucky didn't necessarily force you into turnovers. Although we turned it over 24 times, they didn't force it. They were self-inflicted. Whereas Ole Miss, they got up in you. I've always, from afar, thought Ole Miss was a very physical, strong, athletic team, and they're going to win a lot of games in the SEC. A lot of games. They shot the ball well against us, but they're just a physical, nasty team. You can match up with Kentucky's size, and they're gonna. I'll be shocked if they don't come in the top 5 in the SEC. I'll be shocked this year. I will be, because I mean they're a good basketball team. They can apply a lot of pressure. They can turn you over and get easy baskets, and they're better than they've been in the past. Put it that way. But that just comes with you know, having seniors. You know, it's a big difference having seniors. Our big kid Stephen Hurd, I mean, he had 12 points, 11 rebounds in 27 minutes, and you know, that's his 9th college game. He's played 9 games in college, and me as a coach, you know, you have to understand that he's gonna play 9 games. Well, sometimes when you're playing, you forget. You think he's played 99 games, but he's played 9, and he's got a chance to be a good player, and we'll be fine, and it's a great environment. And I'll say this to the people out here, because you know, obviously growing up around Alabama and knowing Alabama and Kentucky and all that, and I've said it several times to a lot of people that we've been to Indiana, we've been to North Carolina, we've been to Arizona, we've been to a lot of places to play basketball games in my career at Lipscomb, and without question, the Kentucky fan base, not even close, is the best fan base in the country, because they come to see Kentucky. They don't care who they're playing, it doesn't matter who they're playing, they come to see Kentucky. You see this room in here, you see these cameras back here, and it's completely full in here because they love Kentucky. They're respectful of the opponents that they play, but there's a difference with Kentucky basketball. It's kind of like Alabama football in my mind. They're very comparable. And you guys are to be commended to following your team through good and bad. Obviously, you'd rather follow them through good than you would through bad. I understand that, you know, but I think this is the greatest environment in college basketball that there is to play in. And we were glad to be able to come up here, and we wish we would have played the last 16 minutes better. Unfortunate, we have to learn from it and move on.
Scott,
Now, what do you kind of see down the road for Kentucky? You're talking about Mississippi and the things you liked about them. I mean, do you see any traits of Kentucky that'll make you think by March they're going to be a whole lot better, can do some of the things you say they can't now?
Listen, Cal's won a bunch of games, and again, there's a reason why he's won a bunch of games. He's got a bunch of really good players. The bottom line is, will those kids listen? In our locker room, we have a big old sign in our locker room, and I believe this without a doubt. Listening is a skill. We talk about dribbling, we talk about ball handling, we talk about shooting, we talk about all those kind of things. And he's got a bunch of All-Americans on his team, and those are hard. Sometimes they're hard to coach. They're hard to coach. I read his article today in the paper. But listening is a skill. And if those guys buy in and not resist what he's trying to teach them, they got a chance to be as good as they want to be. But if they resist the coaching, whether they are or not, whether they resist the coaching, you know, that's on them, because he hadn't won a national championship last year, been successful, and been in Kentucky not being successful. So their ability to be able to listen, in my opinion, from sitting where I'm sitting and watching as much film as I've seen of them, that's the key for them.
Coach, thank you very much.